Okay, so next we have our kids lesson. Today we have an exciting lesson. We're very much into football season, so we have this little football scenario here for today. You know what this is?
A football?
This is a serve-ball. It's a soft football. Right here. So I'm going to toss this to you. You're going to hold on to this while we're doing this, okay? Think you pay attention while holding on to this? Ready? Remember when you grab it, you take it, pull it to your chest when you grab it, okay? Ready, set, go. You're a goofball. Okay. So, maybe use our imaginations today? Think we can pretend we're somebody else besides who's here? Okay, today we're going to imagine, we're pretend that we are, you and I, and everyone else on the audience here, and everyone on the internet here, pretend we are TV sportscasters, and we're standing on the sidelines of a football game to give a play-by-play. You ready to do this? Okay. Scene one. Here's the first picture, by the way. Scene one. The one-man team. The team nearest us is standing together, heads bowed in prayer with the coach in the center. Suddenly, they give a great cheer. Yeah! And the coach trots out onto the field by himself. And all the players go sit on the bench. What's going on? We ask as we stick the microphone in front of a 250-pound guard. No. What's the coach doing out there? Oh, he's going to play today. All by himself? Sure, why not? He's had a lot more experience and training than the rest of us. We've got a lot of rookies on this team, and we might make some mistakes. Anyway, they pay the coach well. We're all here to cheer and support him. And look at the huge crowd that's come to watch him play. And bewildered, we watch as the opposing team kicks off. Kick. The coach catches the ball. He valiantly charges upfield, but is buried under 11 opposing tacklers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Would that feel good? Nope. He's carried off the field half-conscious. Do you think that's ridiculous? Should a game be played that way? Or do you think the people in the benches should have been out there helping?
People on benches should be out there helping.
Now, this isn't just a picture of many of us different churches run. The members expect the minister to do the preaching, the praying, the witnessing, and visiting because he's supposed to, because he's paid to do it. He's paid to do the Lord's work, and he's better trained. But listen to God's game plan. According to Ephesians 4, 11 through 12, Christ has given the church apostles and prophets and evangelists and pastor teachers to prepare God's people for work of service. God gives leaders to the church not to do all the work, but to help all of God's people do it. People are not there simply to pay pastors and evangelists to do the Lord's work. Rather, pastors and evangelists are there to equip people to be ministers, to go out and do things. Your local pastor is meant to be a kind of playing coach. His main function is to help you as a Christian discover your spiritual gifts, develop them, and use them to build up the body of Christ. Should we depend solely on one person to work for Jesus? Or does God want us all to work and be servants of Him? What do you think?
Work and be servants of Him.
We should all be, right? Scenario number 2. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's called a huddle. It's called a huddle. Hey. The only huddle and do nothing. Words but no actions. The team realizes they've all got to play. So they're on the field in a huddle. They huddle and huddle and huddle and huddle. The referee calls a penalty for delaying the game and moves the ball back 5 yards. Still, the team huddles and huddles and huddles. The referee calls penalty after penalty until finally the ball is moved all the way back to their own goal line. You see, making and sharing plans in a huddle too long delays a game is against the rules. That's why they kept getting in trouble. "Hey, coach," shouts the quarterback to the sidelines. "This is the greatest huddle I've ever been in. What a group of guys. We have the best fellowship, as some of these guys are amazing students of the playbook. Some have memorized over 100 plays and can analyze them precisely. We learned so much in this huddle." But then, of course, the coach replies, "But why don't you get up on the line and play?" "Why should we? What we want are bigger and better huddles. Besides, we might get hurt." No one ever gets hurt in a huddle. As a church, we are in trouble if we become a holy huddle. A band of saints gathered Sunday after Sunday, singing, praising, enjoying each other, but never setting out on the line to apply what we learn. The church is supposed to be the body of Christ. His hands, his feet, his voice, but which he carries out the plans into the world. God intends that through the church, to manifold the wisdom of God should be made known. Ephesians 3:10. The church is to be God's light in a dark, corrupt society. The Christian life was never meant to be lived only in a church building for a couple hours on Sunday. It's meant to be lived in the public arena, at school, in the office, in the neighborhood, 7 days a week. Of course, we need to worship, training, and fellowship with other Christians. A football team needs to huddle, but it's what happens after the huddle that the game is all about. Is huddling and sharing the plan a good idea, Rosa?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. As a team in a game, is making a plan the only part of playing the game, or should we be acting out our plan to win the game?
Win the game.
Should go out and win the game. Okay, here's scenario number 3. See the picture? What's he doing?
Eating up.
They're fighting each other. They're fighting each other. Okay, scenario number 3. The people who fight instead of coming together as a team. The team breaks out of the huddle like they're supposed to, with a good plan to play. But instead of lining up against the opposing squad, they break into 2 or 3, into groups of 2 or 3, arguing with each other. And soon they start shoving, and 2 of them actually get into a fight. What's wrong now? We ask as one of them walks off the field in disgust. They're fighting over the color of the uniforms. They're fighting over the right way to kneel in a huddle. They fight over playing personal football versus social football. Whether the individual or the team is more important. Light-skinned players say that dark-skinned players should play in their own field, and dark-skinned players say the light-skinned players should play in another field. And some of them don't like the band music. And I left because I can pass a lot better than the other guy, but they won't let me be the quarterback, the main starting player. So, does this sound like having any teamwork at all?
No.
No. What should they be like?
Teamwork.
You should work together. That's right. The game plan says that Christ is our peace. His purpose was created in himself, one new man out of 2, Jew and Gentile, thus making peace. To reconcile both of them to God through the cross, by which he put to death their hostilities. Ephesians 2:14-16. Christians talk a lot about peace of Christ. Can the world see that peace in our relationships within the body of Christ? There's plenty of room for diversity of gifts, but underlying that diversity is unity. Be complete, humble, and gentle, writes Paul. Be patient, bearing one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body, one Spirit, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father in all. Ephesians 4:2-6. Isn't it time to show our oneness in truth and love to a watching world? Yeah, good enough. Scene number 4, the last scene. See picture? What's he doing? He's celebrating, right? Okay. So the first half ends. The team drags off to the locker room defeated, demoralized, beaten. But when the second half begins, we see a different team. Suddenly they're playing together with a new spirit. They huddle, slap each other on the back, and take the line. They're off the ball with split-second timing. There is no hesitation. They know where they're going. Each player carries out his assignment, and soon they score a touchdown. Then another. And when the game ends, they won! Yeah! Exciting, right? So then we go interview. In the locker room afterwards, we see what the players say. We see that they're exhausted. We see they're cut and bruised, but they're happy because they won. So coach, what happened after halftime? What changed the team? Well, we were sitting here beaten, he says. And suddenly a kind of presence seemed to come over us. I started talking to the players, pointing out my mistakes and theirs, and they started talking. Everyone was honest. No one blamed the other. We just took a good look at ourselves. And someone recalled the great coach, the one who invented the game. He also wrote the master game plan on how to win. Wouldn't it make sense to see what he said? We remembered how he literally gave himself to the game to get the game started and to teach that first team everything he knew. So we got the original game plan and read about basics such as each player knowing his place and dedicating himself to it, about pulling together, being willing to sacrifice, knowing the aim of the game, and using the proper equipment he designed. Well, we were quiet. I felt as if the great coach was with us, as if somehow his spirit got inside of us. Suddenly we were up, motivated, ready to go. We can't take the credit. It goes to him. And this is what God can do in our lives. So here's a question. So who should be the real great coach, the headmaster coach of your life?
Jesus.
Jesus Christ is a great answer. Last question. And what is the book he gave us with the ultimate game plan, the ultimate playbook for doing what is right for living?
Bible.
The Bible. Okay, let's give you a hand.